Right now, if a human worker does, $50,000 worth of work in a factory, that income is taxed. If a robot comes in to do the same thing, you'd think that we'd tax the robot at a similar level.
With science fiction becoming a reality, we're very excited. We're starting a brand new segment right here on Cashin In where we discuss artificial intelligence. Now, first up today, Bill Gates recently saying robots should be taxed if they take a human's job. Now, Gina, do you agree?
Well, how about we just eliminate income tax for workers and then we won't have this concern with parity? No, I don't agree, and here's why. They always want to make victims out of people so that they can give them something free, so that they can get their votes and tell themselves what good little liberals they are. But here's why that doesn't make any sense. Eric, they never want to talk about the jobs that creating robots would make. People can go from being workers to being part of a team that creates this artificial intelligence. So they never want to talk about those jobs, and I think that's what we should be focused on.
Richard, I want to ask you about it. So the proposal is this. So you're a corporation, and now you have humans on the line, and you take the humans off and you make it a robotic line. Now, the corporation's already going to be taxed for their profits, but now they want to say that the robots that the corporation is using, individual income taxes for a robot goes to the government as well. Is there no end to the taxation?
I actually think me and Donald Trump might agree on this one. Here's the thing. These jobs are taking away hard-working manufacturing jobs from Americans, i.e. like the carrier plant, where they have been given a tax payment by the state of Indiana to automate. So when you're automating, you're losing American jobs. And if these robots are taking an American job, right, then these companies should have to put some skin in the game for taking away an American job.
All right, Lisa, yes, again, there's no end to the liberals' desire to tax people, robots, corporations,
on this one,
tax everybody. Lisa.
Well, but the irony in what Richard is saying is then why would you support increasing the minimum wage? Because we've had CEOs of fast food companies, which is, the direction that fast food industry is going in and automating a lot of those jobs, who are stating the reason for the desire to look towards automation is because of increasing minimum wages across the country. So if you're so I find it a little bit perplexing how the liberals can be for increasing the minimum wage because you are making it that much more viable for businesses to look for automation. And the problem with that is those are the entry-level jobs. So basically what you were saying is you want to, basically, increase the price of labor. So you're pushing those people out of the marketplace. So I find it a little bit interesting that Richard would be, for that when
Lisa,
for increasing the minimum wage.
There's two positions here. You're either for the American worker or you're against the American worker. If Donald Trump claims to be for the American worker, here's the facts. The facts are that robots are taking away jobs, not from people who work at McDonald's, but people who work in the Ford plant and the Chrysler plant and the GM plant. So how do we find a way to get these workers jobs? How do we retrofit them to, like Gina says, build robots?
But the point I'm making, Richard, is you make it much more difficult for businesses
to make that possible. So corporations, if you want to take away an American job, then you should pay for that.
Well, you can't say you're for American jobs.
I want to bring Mercy in because the reason why we're doing this segment, Mercedes, is because, as Lisa points out, the increase in the demand for the increase in the minimum wage is driving employers to automation. And we're finding more and more of these stories, different corporations saying, hey, look what we can do with a robot instead of a human, and I don't have to, A, pay taxes, and B, pay for health care.
Well, and it's actually it's a fascinating debate. Actually, in the European Union right now, they're trying to define what a robot would be, if it would be a quote-unquote electronic person, and what rights they technically have, which is just a fascinating discussion in and of itself. Now, to actually tax the robot, that does stifle innovation. It impedes capital investment. And what you need to find is a place where the robots are complementing the humans. This is what we saw back in the day of agricultural revolution, industrial revolution, where humans needed to adapt. And we're going through this next revolution with automation. And it's going to take a sense where humans are going to be more of the thinkers, the creators, and having to work alongside many of these robots. And I don't think by taxing it is a solution. I think it's finding incentives for companies to ensure that they have the right balance with automation and with the American worker.
Guys, I got to leave it because it's a really fascinating debate, and that's why I really love this segment. We're going to use this quite often because it's important. And as we look to the future, all these topics we're going to hit in this segment. So, but I got to leave right now.